What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Many black men come up in urban environments. Some of you come up in great environments in the suburbs or in an affluent family, but some of us are raised in the inner city. And of course, in the inner city, there is a crime, there is prostitution, there is drugs, there is dysfunction. But just because people are growing up in similar environments doesn't mean that the outcomes are similar. People are different. People also have social advantages over others. We were not rich, but my mom went to UC Davis. My dad went to UCLA. Although he was on drugs for a minute, I had a really strong base. My grandparents were married. So these things helped me a whole lot. So it didn't affect me as bad as it may have affected other people that grew up in a similar environment. And that's the case with Nipsey Hussle and Eric Holder. They both come from the same neighborhood, the Rolling 60s Crip area, but different outcomes, although experiencing and joining and being a member of the same gang. Now, if people come through a similar experience and one person excels and the other doesn't, typically their lives never cross paths again. All right. Just like, once I hit my stride, I went to Europe, lived in Africa. I've done some things that I never thought I'd be able to accomplish. Many of the friends that grew up with me or grew up around me, I don't have much in common with them or much contact with them because our lives are on different, or we're in different trajectories. Doesn't make them a bad person, make me a bad person. It's just the truth, right? But now in the case of Nipsey Hussle, he was successful, and because of his local involvement with his community, he crossed paths with certain people who didn't excel like him. And in the case of Nipsey Hussle, he had a lot of respect. I remember Nipsey was able to go to other parts of town that were enemies and he would get a pass, right? Because of who he was. That was very uncommon for LA rappers, but he was able to do so. And because of Nipsey's ability to do that, there was jealousy. And that resulted in the death of Nipsey and other people being shot in 2019. Now, obviously, we know the verdict has been rendered a few months ago and the sentencing came out. But I want to play just a news clip, and then I want to come back and talk about some other things.
60 years to life in prison. This coming here on this Wednesday out of Los Angeles. Of course, this is a live look in the courtroom right now. The Superior Court judge handed out the sentence to Eric R. Holder, who was found guilty of the 2019 first-degree murder of the 33-year-old Grammy-nominated hip-hop artist outside the clothing store Hussle, founded in South Los Angeles, the neighborhood where both men grew up under very similar circumstances. It was a month-long trial. The jurors in July also convicted Holder of 2 counts of attempted voluntary manslaughter, 2 counts of assault with a firearm for gunfire that hit 2 other men at the scene who survived. They sentenced Holder to 25 years to life for the murder, 25 more for the firearm sentencing enhancement, and 10 for assault with a firearm. Of course, the loss of Nipsey Hussle hit the hip-hop community very, very hard. A lot of great renditions from him as an artist there. This is a live look in there as we continue on here on Live Now from Fox, obviously. Sentenced to 60 years to life in prison. We want to get you out to some remarks from that courtroom, from people within the community upset about how the aftermath continues to unfold there in South Los Angeles.
Najee Ali, for the record, N-A-J-E-E, last name is A-L-I. As a member of the Crenshaw community for over 30 years and a stakeholder, someone who knew Nipsey Hussle, I'm here to say that his murder has had a devastating and tremendous impact still to this day on our community. Not only was Nipsey a Grammy award-winning hip-hop artist, he was much more than that. He was a philanthropist, an entrepreneur, business person, mentor, role model. He was a hero to many young people in the Crenshaw area, but also throughout the nation. When he was murdered, his death struck a chord with many. So with that, Your Honor, I would respectfully ask that Eric Holder be sentenced to the maximum sentence possible, especially due to the fact that he has never apologized, never shown any remorse for what he did. So I believe that he deserves the maximum sentence possible. And in my closing, many young people are monitoring and watching this, and they're depending on you to be their voice for justice. And I want to thank D.A. McKinney for bringing Mr. Holder to justice and serving the people of California and our community with pride and dignity in doing your job. Thank you, Your Honor.
So guys, I want to deal with something, if I can, today. That is, most of you who are on your path to success, some of you are men, some of you are women, you're able to overcome some things or get through some things that the average person can't get through. The key to that, though, is once you get through it, when you want to decide to come back into the same place that you were able to escape, everybody's not going to like that. Some people are going to be envious of that. And then on the flip side, also, you have those people who have nothing to lose. And obviously, as somebody who got something to lose, we think about things differently than the people we come across. We think like, oh, that person ain't gonna do nothing that stupid, because they would never do that. I mean, that's almost like career suicide, right? Until you realize that that person is not you. See, when you're hanging around people with something to lose, you know, wherever you go, you seem to have that attitude. You forget like you're around some folks who ain't got nothing to lose. And people who don't have nothing to lose don't think about their actions until later. When Eric Holder did what he did, he wasn't thinking about, I'm gonna get caught, because he's dumb, right? He's not that smart. And he still has never apologized for what he did. And he still don't have no remorse for what he did. But I believe that if he could do it all over again, he wouldn't do it, probably. Not because he liked Nipsey, but just because he would rather be free. But I want you to think about that, because a lot of times we are dealing with people who are envious of us for making it. And the one way you can guarantee your success is staying away from those people who are envious, because you never know what they're thinking or what they might do. And that's the hard problem that a lot of black folks have. Like, we want to deal with our people. We want to be in the community. We want to help folks out. But then you realize, like, man, okay, that dude is a hater. Man, they dusty. Man, if you don't, people get real crazy. Man, like, why he ain't put me on? Why he ain't looking out for me? Why he ain't did this? And why he ain't did that? Folks is funny style, bro. For real. People are real funny style. And it's something that you got to really look into. Nipsey Hussle's bringing so many resources, so many things to that community. And, when everybody loving you, you don't think that nobody hates you. And I'm here to tell you that people sometimes hate you for the fact that you're good. That's sad, but it's truth. And everybody don't like the fact that you bring in resources to your neighborhood. Everybody don't like that. Everybody don't like the fact that you worked hard for what you got. Everybody don't like that. People looking at it, but why not me? And you can't ever reconcile buffoonery with idiots. It's a very hard thing to articulate right now for me, but you can't reconcile that because they'll never get it. And one of the only ways to minimize that or mitigate that is to have very little contact with these individuals. So I'm glad that justice was served for our brother Nipsey. Rest in peace. I mean, what a great factor for the state of California. What a great contributor. And that guy didn't just kill Nipsey. That guy killed a whole community and don't care. So just keep that in mind. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. We're out.